Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Spot the Aussie here for season number 4, race number 4. And if you're liking the series so far, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below what you're liking about the series so far. You're liking the fact that we are pretty much a back marker car and we're kind of fighting our way through the championship and having a bit of success. And in case you're wondering what success am I talking about, Beijing, we started 18th and 20th. We finished 7th and 9th after pretty much just on-the-fly strategy to do with the weather and pitting at exactly the right time and overcutting the cars who we needed to in order to get there, and a little bit of reliability there as well, which is a strategy in itself. We don't stack our components to be better in performance, we stack them to have better reliability, because if you ain't finishing races, you ain't winning races. Sorry, I had to take a bit of time there. It is getting late here. You guys like when it's late here. I like when it's late here. So what are we doing? Right now, we are just pretty much kicking off. And like I said in the last video, what we want to keep doing is just update our gearbox. So, looking at what we've got in front of us, first component for average is going to be acceleration. Second component, acceleration plus 35, negative 10% red zone plus 1 for risk level, and that's okay because it's a low risk level. And by setting it as reliability plus 2 for each day in production, we are immediately going to go up to 66%. So I'm happy with that. So we're stacking gearboxes in case you weren't sure, and this is the first time you've seen this video. We're stacking gearboxes because the next 4 to 5 races are all crucial for the gearbox. It's the only component that we need back to back on. So yeah, anyway, let's just keep the ball rolling a little bit. Sponsor-wise, there's nothing happening just yet. There's one to go on one spot. And right now, it's really important that we keep fixing the reliability of our car. And whatever else we can fix at the same time. Are brakes that necessary? Nope. I'm going to keep fixing those brakes because those are the brakes that we're going to use for the rest of the season on Lara's car. So what else do we have? This gearbox, we don't want to keep healing that because there's no point. That gearbox, we want to start getting up there as well because that's going to be passed down to our second driver partner. What else can we fix? Everything else I'm quite happy with, and we're going to stack reliability because that's how we roll. And I might just let them tally up and then fix the other components as I see fit. So let's get this going and underway. Thank you very much for the update. It's going to take 7 days in. Interview about, what are we talking about here? Do we want the Beijing... next week's GMA meeting is all about Beijing. Could you tell us about your thinking? I'd love to see Beijing on the calendar for next year. Why? That's a very categorical answer. Can you say that for certain that addition to Beijing would be good for you there at Dragon Race Team China? 100%. I can't wait to see it implemented. You know why? Because the more races we have the championship, I should say the longer the championship. Okay, let me take a step further back. Our car will keep improving as the season goes on. So with more races in the championship, the more likely we are to win races and to win the championship, because there's more opportunities, if you get my thinking. Jeppy's birthday, should we send him a nice present? In case you're wondering who the fuck is Jeppy, like I am, Jeppy is our reserve driver. He is a nobody. We pay him like £800 a race. Ugh. And we are going to pretty much sack that Muppet. Well, naturally, we always do. So, should we get him a nice present for $100,000? That is a big fucking present. How about, nah, morale goes down by 10. No fuss, no fuss. No loss to us. So I might just stop when we get to here. Here is the vote. Here is the vote. And we've already said that we want to vote for. And everyone else is currently supporting the underside line. I'm going to burn 2 of my votes because I want this to happen. This is important for this to happen for us. I might just turn this fan off. I don't actually know if it affects the mic, but it might. So here we go. Let's just skip. What are we going to get to the end? 4 votes for, 6 votes for, 3 votes against. Boom. We didn't have to do it, but we did it anyway. Perhaps if we didn't vote yes, maybe the other teams weren't going to follow suit because a bit of social pressure in the press from Channel 6 from that interview that we earlier had. So let's keep having a look at our improvement on the components. Look, I'm happy with 76 reliability. Let's start getting up the brakes for our second car. When they get to 65, I think that'll be good enough. Engine's at 76%, so let's just start bringing up that second engine. Gearbox is still at 59. Sheesh kebabs. So I might just leave it. Is the rear? No, the rear isn't needed. Let's just roll on with that. Okay, second gearbox is finished, and it should have relatively high. Let me check. Should have relatively high 66. So I'm going to set that up to be fixed now. And do we want to go any higher for the gearbox? Let me go back. What's all that noise? There's a lot of noise going on around here. We might just... They're both exactly the same. Except, yeah. They're built exactly differently. Except one thing, we could now go to Epic and put in production for another component. But I think it's better if we start to balance out the cars a little bit more. So let's have a look what is needed in the next couple of races. So Black Sea, acceleration, rear wing, top speed, acceleration, deceleration, medium speed corners. Oh, Jesus, we've already got all those components, don't we? Alright, let's start to build our rear wing. Why not? Why not? Where are we on the rear wing tally anyway? We are last, so anything's going to be an improvement for us. And it's the least costing piece on the car, at least it looks like it. We want to go 20. And the reason a lot of people... Let me explain this to you. If I pick plus 25 to max, you're like, well, that's better because there's 25 max on the performance. If I add that, it only gives you the grade to scale to get from, you know, 934 to 978. And if I took it off, it's 934 out of 953. If I added plus 20, it's now 954 out of 973. So it immediately adds the 20. And I'd rather have that because it's taking way too long for me to, you know, improve all of our components at the moment because we're just at the start of the season. So that's why I'm doing that, in case you're sitting there thinking, what the hell? But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's going to be $500,000. So that's pretty much getting us a bit more equipped with the car. How would that fit? 917, it bumps to 954. Yeah, that's a pretty big improvement, isn't it? So we've got the brakes up to 65. We've got our engine and party's engine up to 65. Let's get them both off. There's no need to keep doing that. Happy with that so far. Rear wing. Now, because that's going to get replaced next race, I'm not going to bother with it. If we have to fix Partnan's car, well, that's a bit of a shame. It's going to be an extra 6-second stop. But so be life, you know? So be life. How else are we looking suspension-wise? Let's just do a little bit of a fixing on that. And... yeah, I might just stick it... I might just do that. I might just do that for now. Leave the front wings out of it. Actually, they're crucial. Don't leave the front wings out of it. Let's get our front wing up. It's kind of hard. You don't want to stack one car, but you kind of feel like you have to. Tough gig sometimes, you know. How are we looking? Thank you very much. Oh, did we see that component? Yes, we definitely did. And they're both stacked with the same stats. That's okay. So, Doha and Milan, Asian series. De Graaf. De Graaf was one of our rivals from the original series. And how are we going over here? Latinen? Never heard of him. Don't know who that guy is. So we are going to carry on and travel to Tondela. So we're now at Tondela. Do we want to change the improvement on anything? No, I'm actually really happy with that, to be honest. We've gotten some good work done. We need to fix... What we'll do next is for components, we'll do rear wing, we'll do suspension, and then we'll do our front wing, and then we'll start to give Partnan the parts that we were putting on Lara's car, so the reliability will be up. So it's just a case of shuffling them. So while you're not stacking reliability on both, that's easily caught up by the fact that once you build a new component, bang, bang. So, yeah. Anyway, I think, look, we're always going to do 7th or above, because anything above that is really punching above our weight. Like, we are lucky, realistically, we're lucky to get in the top 15, given how much slower our car is. And that's life sometimes. So we're going to stack with the soft compounds. I might just chuck in a couple of hards just in case. We're never going to use them, but might be alright just to have them in there. As for part fitting, we want to stack Lara's car. Lara has the better component. Oh, what is going to happen there? Actually, you know what? For that one, I'm happy for partner to have five units increase in that for a less reliable component. Front wing, it's going to be the wet rolls. Bang, bang. So that's going to be a pretty big improvement for those two, and that's how we're going to sort them out. Practice dry. Qualifying is going to be clear, apparently, at 15 degrees, and the race is going to be cloudy as well. Anything can happen at Tondela. Portugal, eh? Ronaldinho. And for this segment, for this video, I'll take practice, and I'll learn practice, but I might just skip it, and we'll get straight into qualifying. So please, keep watching. I'm going to skip straight to qualifying just because of the entertainment factor. And I'll make sure, and I'll let you guys know how the practice session goes, so be sure to tune in. What's going on, guys? We are back for qualifying in the rain. This is going to be a bit heckers, because it was supposed to be clear, but it's decided to rain on us the day before. As for the track, it looks like it's going to be completely damp. Straight from the get-go, look at that. After the first session, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a bit of a gamble. Because our team is way off the pace, I'm going to set our active knowledges for partnering to be soft tyres, 15 plus. And you're probably like, well, hang on, it's a wet track, you're not going to use soft slick tyres. Here's my thinking. The track might dry, and therefore we're going to get a bonus. Otherwise, all I'm going to sit with is qualifying trim and soft tyres. I might... What do I want to do for Lara? As for Lara, we're going to go the other way. We're going to go... Instead of going qualifying trim, I'm going to give her soft tyres for 15% bonus instead of the 10% performance increase when she does qualifying trim on level 2. I'm going to pick the sweetest spots, which opens up the qualifying to get the brakes and the tyres into the green zone when we do our hot lap of qualifying, which I'll be able to talk on our way through. So this is a huge gamble. We're banking on the fact that we're hoping that the track is going to get drier. Down to about here. Any second now, everyone's going to start to come in. And we're going to send them out in just a second on slick tyres. Hopefully we don't get bogged up by Blanc again. Okay, now is when we want to send them out. Soft, because that's when no one was on the circuit, remember? Soft. And just give it a little bit of a gap. Only a little bit. Okay, now I'll send Blanc. Oh, not Blanc. I'll send Partner out now. And the track should get dry by the time Lara gets around, so we're not rushing to get around there either. Partner, just warm up your car as much as you possibly can. Let's keep your tyre temps just below the optimum range. Lara seems to be completely up the arse of someone else who's doing an in-lap. Yup. Can you go by the car? No, you can't go by the car. Wow, we are completely stopped in qualifying for this. We've just been hit up the back. What the hell is happening with this qualifying? We're gonna start around 3 different cars. Is Partner gonna be affected by all this garbage? Yeah, possibly. Go figure, right? Okay, so Lara slingshots through the midst of that, and Parnan, what's going to happen with you? Lara gets to go on good tyre temp and good tyre pressure because of that. Parnan goes back down to cold and cold, not because we weren't driving aggressively enough, but because we have a roadblock of cars in front of us, but they're going to pull in just as we start our lap. Now, I'm not sure if the lead up to that lap will slow us down for this first sector, but The main thing is we're going to get out with no one on the track. Look at that. There is no one out there. I mean, we've got one car, Blanc, who's down at 14th. So he was there last time, remember? He was there last time. Now Lara's up by 1.965. So a little bit down from the prior time, because remember we're up by 2.3. Partner is only up by 0.8, and that would have been because he started slower onto that last corner. And here we go. He's actually going to get blocked now by 2, Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Lara is still up at the second sector as well by 2.7 seconds. Partner is just up by 0.3. Is he getting slowed down anymore? Hopefully not. Lara goes into first position. Now, we've seen that before. Partner will be down by 2.3 seconds because of that slower traffic. And the main thing is, we're in first and second. We've done a 126 and a 127, and from memory, that won't be good enough. That will be just short of getting into the top 10. So we want to get around and send them out straight away. No marking around. Will they get around in time? That is the other question. They should, technically, what you think about it, a 125. So we're going to send Lara out. Literally no mucking around for her. Bang, out you go. Partner might not be able to do another lap. It's going to be extremely tight if he crosses the line in time. 123. Unfortunately, Partner, I think you're going to be completely screwed by the way we've been blocked on that out lap for that last lap. How is Lara going? Lara is going to be pushing to get into those time areas. So now, really for Party, it's just him slowing down other cars. That's what his #1 job is right now. It's just to slow everyone else down, like pull a bit of a Schumacher and just get in people's ways as they start to do their lap. How are we going, Lara? How are you going? You've got a lot of room between you and the car behind you, so let's just get your tyre temps right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get Lara into the perfect window, clear air optimization, overheated for brake temps, but here we go. Partner is unfortunately going to miss out. He would have missed out anyway. Lara's going to cross with... Wow, she doesn't cross in time at all. And we're going to... So literally, they've just both done one lap, and they've improved up the field. Well, I think Lara's going to get pushed out now. But at least we're more up the front than where we should have been. Had those other cars not have gotten in the way, I think we might have been in the top 5 with both cars. So what's going to happen? There is no more cars to go around. There's 2 more, but they're in front of us anyway. So we're actually going to qualify 7th. We've done a bit of a nicky pick here by going and loading a previous game, but that just goes to show how predetermined the weather is and how the other cars are, at least in that qualifying session. So we're starting 7th and 14th. That is much better than like 18th and 20th because of a some sort of an issue with the cars getting in the way. So hopefully that's going to be fixed in one of the upcoming patches. Wow, I can't believe what I just saw. You got to remember, the first time we went around, we got banked behind 4 different cars. Now, if they went out straight away, we would have been able to do our lap time. But anyway, 7th and 14th, I think qualifying is now becoming more a bit of a lucky dip than anything else. The main thing is we are going to start the race at the pointy end, and we're going to start both cars with soft tyres and racing trim, because that's what I've developed in our practice session. And just so you know, guys, I won't be loading another session to redo it again. That was more of a test to see how that worked. Was it predetermined? It's good to know that it is in some ways, but from now on, I'm just going to keep continuing on with that session. I felt a little bit robbed by the way the cars kind of stuffed us up. We won't do that again going forward. It was more of a test, but it's good to kind of get up there and be a little bit competitive. Off the line, we're going to get them both to be in attacking driving styles. For the engine mode, I'm going to get Lara to go into overtake mode, and I want Party to sit in high, just because he has less reliable components, and the higher you run it, the more wounded the parts become, the more less fresh, the more they start to drive down the actual performance of it as well. So here we go for our race at Toldella. It's going to be 3 lights, 2 lights, 1 light, and off we go. Lara off the line. She gets off quite well. 6th position actually has a bit of an issue. I don't know who that is. 7th. It's Lippinon. So we're going to start in 6th position for Lara, and that is a great start for us. Party's already up to 12th, and he's doing a great job holding off some of the field. Now this is about getting out ahead as much as we possibly can, because Partner is now fighting for that 11th spot. He doesn't quite get it. We might get him to go into overtake mode as well now that we've got a bit of clear air. Lara loses her position back to Lippinon, but I kind of feel like Lippinen's not a threat to us. I kind of feel like if he has mechanical issues now, surely he's going to break down later on the race, or at least have to pit longer because of he's going to have to fix a component. And we are proudly sponsored by Byron Bay Chili Sauce. If you've never seen it before, please buy that stuff. It is fabulous. We're not actually sponsored by it, I just really like the taste. Thank you to my girlfriend for bringing that to my attention just now. But yeah, anyway, the race is carrying on. Lippinon is still in 6th position. There's not much movement. Once the tyres are in the right tyre temp, which is just about now, I might set them back to medium, because we want to push these tyres out as much as we possibly can. Our objective is to overcome, and it looks like Partner is able to get into the top 10. So both drivers in the pointy end of the field. Now let's get Lara to go to push mode. Let's get Party to also go to push mode, and start to really conserve those tyres for a bit more of a strategic push on this race. We don't want to wear them out too early. Fuel-wise, how are we looking? We're going to have to definitely start to burn back to medium. Party goes up to 9th. What happened to Lara? Lara dropped back into 8th position, so she's falling a little bit behind. And the tyres are now starting to pick up, so let's get them all into a neutral. There were 2 lockups in front of us, so that's going to be great for Partner to push Sirikov and Saarinen under attack. Both of the drivers in front of us locked up their brakes while we didn't. Now it's important that we play the conservative game and keep those tyres in the optimum rubber and degradation. The fuel. We are a little bit low on fuel, so I'm hoping that by sitting in medium mode now, it's going to catch back up to us. We should be able to complete the race in the fuel that we have. Partner is now dropping, and that's probably because he's not attacking as much as the other cars, but that's okay. A lot of the other cars, let's have a look. Riviera is in 7th. His tyres are down to 26%. So as soon as they get to 25%, they're going to start to struggle, and he's already issued that he wants to go on the pits. Let's watch this and see how close we can get to him, because his tyres are now eating away, 22%. So the gap behind Lara is 2 seconds, and our goal is to see how close we can get to him because of the way the tyre wear is. His engine is into overtake mode, but I kind of feel like the tyres is going to push him back a little bit. It doesn't look like we're actually gaining anything, which is going to be a bit of a surprise to me, actually. And you know what else? No one has crashed, so we might be looking at a very different race here. I'm quite surprised that Lara isn't catching. Do we want to pit Lara? Lara looks like she's locked up. She's at 30%. I might actually, you know what I want to check? I want to check the volume, because it sounds a lot louder than what it usually is. Let's just turn that down a little bit. Lara has gone down to 30%. Party is in 42. So what's obviously happened is Lara has locked up somewhere along the way, whether it was defending from Saarinen and been in a bit of a position. What is the rest of the field doing? Fisher? He's driving around at 34%. Sylvander, 33. Blanc. Blanc. Wexler. Lippinon is still out there. I'm going to get Lara to go around one more time, even though it's going to dig into 25%. We can kind of see that the tyres didn't actually drop that much in pace when Riviera was racing around on those blunt tyres. So let's get them to keep going around. Holtz has been fighting through the field. Still has a lot of meat on those tyres left. So we're going to move back into 7th because of Riviera pitting quite early, and we might have to change our race strategy to a 2-stop strategy. And that's based upon how our tyres are digging in. Let's get them to go into push mode, into attack mode, sorry. How's Partner's going? His is alright, so we should be able to do 1 extra lap. Tierra drops into 13th. And I'm kind of expecting that because these cars are a lot faster around us. And this is about how and if we can hold into the points end of the field. We definitely want to pit though. So, we're actually not losing that much, are we? I'm not at 15%, but we definitely want to pit. Let's get soft tyres out there, 6 to 8 laps. All of our components are welders, no need to do anything. Let's go for a fast stop. Partner, we're going to get him to keep going around and around. Hopefully there's a technical issue for a car or two. Lara's stopped, let's watch hers. She comes out. There has been a mistake with a tyre and she is going to fall back 8 seconds because of that. That is huge. 8 seconds is literally all the way back to where Partner was. So that's a very big sacrifice there because of how poorly the tyres are. Now what are we going to do? The main thing is Lara has clean air now and her tyres are in that range. So let's get her to keep pushing as she is. And Lara's actually caught all the way back up to Partner already, even though we had a very slow start. So that's quite devastating. And we're going to get him to pit this lap. Going to get him to go into softs, pit strategy. Parts are all looking okay, nothing wildly just yet. We might just double check on our second stop. It doesn't look like Lara's been held up that much. Lara just suffered so much from that stop. 8 seconds. 8 seconds. And you got to remember, we were batting Suriname, so it's going to be a good indicator of where we are. So we've definitely dropped a lot. We've definitely dropped a lot because of that. Now it's up to Lara to kind of fight back here and try to get as much track position as she can by putting in some really fast laps. And it looks like Partner's stop here as well was 8 seconds. So there's something about this particular circuit and our mechanics just struggling to get the stop right. Partner drops all the way back into 20th because of that. That is devastating. I can't believe that. Let's get Lara into push mode because the tyres are starting to drop a little bit. But yeah, this has not gone the way I expected it to be honest, because the stops have been absolutely woeful. 8 seconds additional. Now Lara hoping that she can kind of bite her way back in with a 2-stop strategy. She goes around the outside of Schmidt, so that's a good pass. Schmidt on the harder compounds. We'll probably have to stop for one more stop. He will actually have to stop for one more stop. Lara now fighting to trying to get back into the top 10 with Schmidt now in front of her. Sorry, she passed Rodriguez, not Schmidt. And Partner, where is he now? He's still 20th. I don't know what to say about that. That is a bit funny there. But it's going to definitely be a huge battle to get into the top 7. Do we have anyone who's currently looking like they're going to blow? Can we push Lara to do 6 laps on this? Will be 7 laps on these tyres. I don't think we can. I don't think we can. We're now into 10th because of that that pit stop by a couple of the guys in front of us. And Partner still coming in last. Now advances to 17th. It's such a sloppy stop, isn't it? Now you got to look at this, and if you look at Lara and say, if she was 8 seconds up the road, she would literally be in 8th position. And it looks like 9th place Schmidt is going to go into the pits. This is going to be a huge gamble. Let's get her tyres back down to conserve mode. And let's see. We're not going to be able to push 47% for 6 laps. The car just won't do it. So let's get her to push. She doesn't have anyone in front of her, so let's get her to go into complete attack mode and pit in about 2 to 3 laps. That's the strategy now. So that's Lara's, that's our go-to card. It's just to pit, go as fast as you can. Partner's been able to find himself back into 15th position. Will he have to pit again? I don't know. I think we might be able to push Partner all the way. We're going to risk it for the biscuit. No stops for Partner. And we're going to see if he's able to jump up the field a little bit more. How is Lara going? She's dropping away from Sharp? No, she's actually caught onto the back of Sharp because she's gotten past Sirikov. So how are we going? Let's just look at fuel as well. So she'll have exactly 4 and a little bit laps to go, which is what we have left. And Lara does a personal best of 128, and that's much faster than the rest of the field who are on the harder compounded tyres. They're not gonna have to stop though. They're going the whole way. They're gonna go the entire way this race, but we needed to do this. We needed to do this in order to get up ahead. Now she is eating away at Sharp at the moment. She's gotten that down from 9 seconds down to 7.8, and it's currently going back up. And we might have to pit Lara now. Yes, we are. So Lara, going to go back on those soft tyres. I'm going to do a balance stop. I can't risk adding 5 seconds to the pit stop. Just because, and she's predicted to come out in 14th position. In 14th, all the way back there behind Schmidt. That is a huge drop back. Partner's car is starting to look a little bit funny. So we're definitely going to get him to go the whole way. Our race now... Oh, ignore those components. I'm ignoring him for Partner because if he pits, he loses. He will not get in the top 10. So Lara is going to come out in 14th, 15th. I'm going to give Partner... team orders to allow teammate through. Lara is going to absolutely push on these tyres. She has a fresh set of tyres. She should be able to catch this field and absolutely mow them down. So this is our conquest to get back into the top 10. What's the gap all the way to 10? It is 6 seconds, 8 seconds, 8 and a bit seconds. Come on, allow him through. Gonna let Enrique through now. Yep, Enrique goes through. Thank you very much. And now Partners should be able to slow down Espinosa so we don't get any pressure from behind, and that's what's going to happen there as well. And here goes Lara. Let's see if Lara can start to close the gap down on 12th position. So Schmidt is 1.5 seconds in front of us at the moment, and she is going to absolutely be blazing to try and catch up to him. He's going to have a little bit of traffic to deal with, so let's see if we can get onto the back of this little battle pack ahead of us, which is Bergman, Lindquist, and Schmidt. Lara, plenty of tyre tread to use up. I don't care if it's at a much higher temperature range. It's all about pushing and getting the most out of the car as she possibly can. And we don't have to look at the times to see that she is closing that gap. It is now down to 2.6 seconds from what it was originally about 5 seconds. So here we go. This is now our race to go. So we're going to have to pit for Partner. And what we're going to do here is, and people are going to like go completely bonkers, I'm going to fix his car completely. And the reason why I'm doing that is because if we fix his car, we have less work to do once the race is finished. Once the race is finished, the mechanics have to fix the car. But if they're already fixed, for the majority of it, is less time for them to fix. They can start to go straight onto improving new components and designing new components. So that's why I'm doing that. Lara now pushing and pushing and pushing, and she's going to go around the outside of Lindquist. Does she have the power? Yes, she does. She does have the power, and she's just bottling away. Let's get her to go into overtake mode just to burn off a little bit more fuel while she hunts down a top 10 position here now. So this is our race to gain. So we're back in the fighting sectors. And while Bergman and also Schmidt fight each other, we're going to be still catching this gap. It is now down to 1.8 seconds. Here we go. This is going to be Lara's race to go. We're going to have to go back into a more conservative mode. There is another car that is smoking ahead of us. That will be Gonzalez. I don't want to focus on him. I just want to focus on Lara. She's gone into high mode. Partner now is going to come out and still smoking. I'm going to get him to go into backup conserve mode. I do not want him messing with Lara's race. And Lara goes through, and so does Partner. And Partner should be able to stick on the back of Lara and basically back everyone up. So Lara is no longer under pressure. And we're going to put her back into medium mode. just to finish this race off. I don't think she has what it takes to get up to Bergman. Bergman is now fighting on a more conservative strategy. Let's have a look. Who was that? Sharp is out of fuel. Did I just read that correctly? Sharp is out of fuel, and he is going to... he'll be able to cross the line just in time. How are we looking for Lara's car? I think she must have had a stab at 8th, but she didn't pull it off. Here we go. Here we go. Go into overtake mode, and we pull the power down onto the straight. We get that 8th position. Partner now finishes in 19th. It is a bit of a shame that we did not get 7th position. It is a bit of a shame. What was the gap? Now, if we didn't get penalised for 8 seconds in the pits for that slow stop, we would have been in 7th position. That would have been pleasing for our sponsors, attaining that result, but that is very unfortunate. Partner is really weird because he is smoking while all these components are fixed. I don't know, a bit of an afterbug feature, but main thing is we've cut down on his reliability. Now, guys, I know it's a tough result. It is a tough day for us to kind of, suck that up, the fact that we lost. But the reality is, we just did it. Ooh, did we get the fastest lap in that race? No way. Oh, okay, 126.03. Fastest lap is Lippiton, 125.661. So that must have been near the closing end of that race. As you can see, Wexler, last lap, a 155. Sharp, a 141. So if there was like one extra lap, we might have been able to get 2 places and that would have bumped us up. That is the war of attrition. That is like little minor things that we could have done to get us up there, but I think the strategy worked well. I think we needed to go on the soft tyres. The fact that Partner came out just behind and blocked anyone behind us, and Lara getting into 8th is actually a really good result, despite the fact that it's going to be down in the points. And a risk of a rule break is quite high for us. I forgot about that. Hopefully no one gets pinged. I'm going to close my eyes. No one got pinged, quite hopefully. And Sirikov gets demoted by 2 places. So if we get 7th, we would have moved up to 6th. It's a shame that Sirikov finished there. 1 more place down, and we would have moved up into 7th position. But Partner also moves into 18th because of illegal components as well. So we might just keep a bit of an eye out if we want to keep running illegal components or not. We are now down into 5th position, 72 points away from Steinman Motorsport. Mate, they could start last in the grid and still finish 3rd. They are the Mercedes GP. They are the Brawn GP of this championship. But what do? Let's look at our chairman's happiness. Now, someone mentioned that we got a 1-2 in Brazil in Season 3 when it was raining. You know, the video called Verstappen in the Rain? And we had actually lost 1% of chairman happiness. Like, what else could we have done? Nothing. But the chairman happiness is at 100%. Let's have a look. Does it increase? Does it decrease? Nope. Race results 7th. Expected result 7th. So, chairman's happy. We're happy. Lara is going to keep increasing her potential, as you can see there. And both drivers still have 100% morale. That is a tough one. Main thing is, look at this payday. $3 million. Sponsorship money, 1.3. Chairman payments, 2.888. Whoosh. That is huge. HQ income of $53,000. That is from the helipad. But the drivers, $548,000. Now, most people would be paying for the drivers to win the car. They're paying us. The sponsors are paying us. And that is a huge kind of increase for us. So, that puts us back in the positive. And that way we can keep improving the car. We can keep improving the car, improving the infrastructure, getting the car better, getting better staff. Next thing you know, world champions. Maybe not this season, but the next season. I think we're definitely gonna still have a big punt at it. I think there's a big potential there for it to kind of take it by storm and maybe do a last half a season charge. Remember, only round 4 of 15, so not even 1/3 of the way. Anything can happen, and yeah, that's going to be up to us to kind of do that. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. Hit that subscribe button if you want to keep seeing more of these vids. I am releasing them out on the daily. There is at least 1 video each day, if not 2, and some days there's even 3. I do not do videos on Saturday, Sunday. I might actually start doing them and posting them as well. So keep in tune for that, and I'll check you guys out next time.